Brian, I'm happy to speak with you again, man. Definitely always an honor. Just want to have you been over the last couple of months?
Now, I'm blessed, brother. Can't complain, not even a little bit. Oh, seriously. Absolute blessed. Absolutely blessed.
Definitely. And last time we spoke, we obviously were talking about the I'm sorry, the It Takes Two initiative that you are a part of, and you were bringing up how it was a dream to be a part of the Rose Parade. Now I get a chance to actually, get your recap of it. How was the experience?
It was tremendous. It was a lot bigger than I thought. Like you think it's one way because you see it on TV, but then you're a part of it. And to be on the one of the floats, and then like there are literally stands, huge stadiums that are put up, constructed to house and seat fans, so that they can just watch the parade as they go by. And so that part of it was a whole lot more expansive than I thought. Again, I had an image of what I thought it was going to be, but then when I saw it, I was like, you guys to be kidding me. Like this is the people like truck down, they drive down, travel down just for this experience. Get up early in the morning to come out and watch these floats go by. So it was, and it's again, I think I might have said it like the last time. Like it's not something that I ever thought that I would be a part of. I thought it was something I would always watch from a distance, but to be a part of it was such a blessing. So it's to thank Boehringer and Lilly for letting me be a part of it.
Definitely, and obviously, spreading awareness for such an amazing cause that is personal to you as well. Can you just speak to like not only doing the Rose Parade, you're also spreading the word during the Super Bowl?
Yes. And so in those opportunities in those big venues to be able to spread this message to as many people as possible, because the stats are what they are. Like it's 35 million individuals in the US that have kidney disease, but the problem is many of them don't know it. So that's a huge issue. And so to know about the program, to go to testyourkidneys.com to find out more about this information is extremely important for those individuals that have the conditions of high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes. And the way that I think about it is, the reason why that this happened, the reason why I decided to go on is because once I heard those two conditions, someone popped into my head, and that was my parents. And I knew that they needed to get this test. So it's the same thing for me. Like, when I say this, if there's someone that pops into your head because they have those conditions that you know of, they need to have this information. They need to be in the know about, okay, these are tests that I need to have done if I have not gotten them done, because it could potentially help me, um, you know, uh, recognize if I'm going down the path of having kidney disease or even cardiovascular risks at the same time.
Definitely, and obviously, like you were in New Orleans for the Super Bowl, and working with Boehringer and Lilly's with that. But also there was the big game, and as we all know, the Philadelphia Eagles defeated the Kansas City Chiefs. So you obviously, as a Eagles Hall of Famer, all-time great, what was your thoughts on just seeing the Eagles pull off the big win?
Well, first of all, I was surprised that it happened the way that it happened. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that that's not something that I thought was going to happen. I thought it was going to be a reverse of fortune, that the Eagles would make that last drive to win the game this time around. I thought it would be that type of a close game, but it was not from the jump. That the defense stepped up and played the best game probably that you would see, um, that I can remember. And obviously, there are some times that we have done some things with Jim Johnson and Reggie White and those, the crew. They did some things back in the day. But I'm just telling you, on that stage though, to be able to perform to the level in the Super Bowl the way that they did, unbelievable. And I was so excited to see them doing it that way, winning the game, obviously, because it's the Super Bowl. But again, I'm a defensive guy. So to see them dominate the way that they did, loved it. Loved it.
It was definitely very impressive, and Vic Fangio and the defense and just the game plan. I guess like even digging in deeper when you talk about the defense, have you ever seen a situation where a team that didn't blitz the entire game was able to get to Patrick Mahomes or just any quarterback in that manner?
I mean, it does happen. It does at times, You know, we've had games we didn't blitz a whole lot. I'm going with Jim Johnson. He didn't have to call a whole lot of blitzes, excuse me, Hugh and the guys were getting after the quarterback. But again, it's the stage, to do it on that stage, to do it in the Super Bowl in the way that they did it. That's what sets it apart. Again, there have been times in that you will see other teams have done things during the regular season. Cool. I get it. I dig it. But it's just a stage that they did it on, to me, is what separates them from the rest.
Definitely. And just going off of that, Brandon Graham just announced his retirement. I'm just curious, what are your thoughts on him and just his legacy as an Eagle for all those years and two Super Bowl victories during his tenure?
Ooh, man, I'm so jealous of that Joker, man. He got two of them. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, man, I'm excited for him. I mean, the way his career started off, coming out of Michigan, and I said this in a tweet about his career. Like he was, considered to be a bust by a whole lot of individuals, right, at that time. And if you look at where he was in the first 2 years, you can see why they would say that. But here's the thing, he changed his mindset. He changed the way that he looked at, approached life, approached the game of football, and he changed into a completely different person. And so that's the Brandon Graham that we now see now, right? The smiling assassin is what I call him, right? Always chirping, always smiling, but will absolutely not, he will handle his business if you get too close to him, right? And so, like, that is something that will forever be in the lore of Philadelphia. And I've also put in that tweet that he will be forever known for the sack, because that was it. That was the sack in the Super Bowl to win, basically to win it all. The script, Tom Brady, that's the sack, right? He will be forever known for that, right? And so there are young people that'll grow up wanting to have that type of career, right? To to win two Super Bowls and then win one out the door, right? So you win this last one and I'm out the door. Like that's the way all of us would have loved to have done it, and he did it.
Definitely did. And just talk about, young careers. This is draft week. So it's going to be a lot of eyes on everything going on in Green Bay. I'm just curious for your thoughts, just reflecting on your own experience during the draft. What do you remember most from 1996 and hearing your name called?
Well, hearing my name call was it was nerve-wracking and frustrating, to be honest with you. Excited at the end, but I was nerve-wracking. It was frustrated. I thought I would go in the first round. I thought Kansas City was going to draft me. They're the only team that came out to take me to dinner, right? So I thought they were going to draft me. They didn't draft me. And then I went all the way to the end of the second round. And so excuse me, in my mind, the way that I always used it for motivation is I considered myself to be a third round pick. I was the last pick in the second round. I considered myself to be a third round pick, and I used that for motivation for basically all of my career. And so it was a nerve-wracking day for me. But once I finally got the call from the Eagles, Danny Smith called me, spoke to Emmett a little bit, spoke to a whole bunch of people. Emmett, uh, Ray, Mr. Wooten. So I talked to a whole bunch of different individuals, but I was excited with this new direction for me to be able to go into and plan for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I was extremely excited to play, even though I knew I was going to have to wear that green that I was not a fan of at the time. The socks, it was the socks. It wasn't the green, it was the socks I wasn't a fan of. But no, man, it was such a blessing to have that opportunity to go play in the National Football League.
And obviously you made that an amazing career, Hall of Fame career. But you actually have one of the more unique experiences where you know how to go through it as a player, but also as an executive. From 2016, 2017, you're executive of football operations for the Eagles. What was that experience like on the other side during the draft?
Wow. So I got a chance to now see how all of that stuff is put together, how the draft is put together, the draft board is put together. And here's the other thing that I got. I got another appreciation for the scouting department. Philadelphia has an extremely talented scouting department. Those cats put in a lot of hours to do what they do to make sure that the right individuals that can fit Philadelphia. Not everybody, and I always say this, not everybody can play in Philadelphia. It is what it is. Like you got to have a certain mindset to play in Philadelphia. It is what it is. So they just do a great job of presenting Howie and the upper crew of the talent, the different individuals that they believe that could to come into Philadelphia to play the game the way that it needs to be played again in Philadelphia, which is different, right? So I've had a completely different appreciation for the hours that they spend, the way that the traveling that they do all over the America to make sure that as much as they can vet the young person to make sure that he's a fit for Philadelphia.
Definitely. And, obviously you were just talking about just how you're looking at players and players are being evaluated or scouted, I should say. I'm just curious to get thoughts for a guy like Travis Hunter. Obviously just won the Heisman Trophy. He's been very vocal about wanting to be a two-way player. And I'm just curious your thoughts on, is that something that's realistic, or is it kind of just him just saying this right now, just from your experience playing in the league?
I mean, he will play both ways, just not all the time. He'll play both ways, and he won't be the first who have done it though. Now he may play more snaps on offense than others who've done it in the past, but we've had these things before. We've had guys that play the receiver and play running back, right? Excuse me, receiver and DB, right? Obviously, we bring up Dion, Champ Bailey, right? So there's guys who have done it. Um, I don't see that element of him playing both ways the whole game. Like that's not. It's this is a different league. It's a different physicality. They're different temperaments for the defensive coordinators and defensive players about someone trying to do something like that. I'm telling you, it's just different. So, am I not hoping that he does not have success? Absolutely not. I want him to have success, right? I just believe it's going to be more on the cornerback position, and then he'll spell in at receiver, and he probably will have success at receiver. But again, I think in his mind, he wants to just stay on the field basically and play. Those days are over with, brother. Those days again, you can have it in as something that you would love to do. And again, there may be times that he then on a timeout, he's on offense defense, and then the first snaps he comes in and plays a little receiver. But to think you can do that during for 18, well, 17 games now, but soon to be 18 games for what we're hearing, right? 18 games, and think you can hold up physically from that week in and week out. That's too many snaps. It's too much pounding on the body, and these are let's just say these are grown men like that you're going to have to be dealing with.
Definitely hear that. And my last question is just from your experience, obviously, like I said, Hall of Fame safety. Is there any advice that you have for the safeties that are coming out in this year's draft class?
Wow. I mean, the thing that I would tell all of them is don't set yourself into one like seat. What I mean by that is don't plug yourself as being a one role type of person because that person is not likely to be able to have success at this level on this next level with where the game has gone, right? You have to be versatile. You have to be able to do a multitude of things. So the more that you can do at a high level, the better you will be for that defensive coordinator. You become a chess piece instead of a checkers, moving from one place to the next. Chess piece, that piece can move all over the place. So you become a chess piece. Make sure that you're versatile in that way. Make sure your mindset is that you're versatile, so that your body then will follow the lead of your mind. Does that make sense?
It definitely makes sense. It's versatility, and it's basically what they look for in the secondary. So I definitely understand. Brian, just once again, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And I want to make sure everybody just follows the initiative, the health initiative, moving forward. But always just amazing to talk to you.
No, thank you again. Thank you for having me on once again. And that testyourkidneys.com is that space. I say it again. When I said those two things, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, if there's someone that came to your mind, please text them that information.
Definitely, well, man, I really appreciate it.